Hi, my name is Darren Bartlett and welcome to my channel where we discuss international news but with focus on the African continent. Now, imagine going to bed when you're a citizen of one country and waking up when you're under a different administration of another country. You have not changed houses. It's the same roof, same compound, same atmosphere, same water bodies, same. But you now belong to another country. Now, I'm talking about our friends who are the Chagossians, who have been in court trying to block a deal that Mauritius had signed with Britain. Let me just give you a simple background. Back in the colonial times, when the colonial masters were taking over so many countries in Africa, including beautiful islands on the continent, like Reunion Island, which is, by the way, still under the French colony. If you know that, they are still French. They are considered French people. You need a French visa to go there. But anyway, I digress. Let's go back to the Chagossians here. Now, their islands make up about 60 of them. And these islands, eventually, they started by becoming part of the French, and then they became British over time. These are routes that were used for slavery, trade, and so much on that worked on. In fact, there used to be actually a contestation when countries were now getting independence, so where the UN and other general assemblies used to come up and say that the British should actually give up these islands. As time moved on, these islands were now used as military bases, and I'm talking about Diego Garcia, especially that one there, which the US and the UK have been using as an army base, to help them protect their citizens, by the way, against people like terrorists and other countries in the Middle East further. Okay, now the conversation of the Chagossians here is that they have been serving the British government. They have been considered, by the way, British, and they have been calling them British Islands, by the way, but yet they're in the Indian Ocean. Okay, they call them the British Islands in the Indian Ocean. Now, for a very long time, Britain has been in negotiations with countries such as Mauritius to ensure that they hand over the administration of these islands to Mauritius. But the involvement or the conversations of the people of the Chagossians there felt like they needed to be involved in these conversations because they didn't want to be, actually they don't want to be part of Mauritius. But you know what, when the British came to Africa, they forcibly evicted these people off these islands here, and some of them went to Mauritius. Some of them became citizens of the British government or service. They had been doing things under the British government, okay? Some of them joining the army. Now, time has come yesterday when Starmer, who is the Prime Minister, signed a deal with Mauritius to take over the administration of the Chagos Islands. Very interesting, right? So the Chagossians have been caught. In fact, they put in an injunction at midnight. British courts work at midnight. Shocker. So they put in an injunction to stop this deal. However, the higher court overruled this injunction at 2 p.m., saying no, it's okay, let the deal happen. So what is in it for this deal, especially when it comes to Mauritius? First of all, Mauritius territories increase, okay? Number two, they are receiving 110 million pounds every year for the next 99 years. So what happens here is that they handed over the administration of these islands to Mauritius, but leased them back, especially the island of Diego Garcia, which is the military base. The rest are going to just be under Mauritius. I would have never imagined that there are still countries in this world that are still under colonial rule, especially in Africa. Remember when I talked about Reunion Island? That is a country in the Indian Ocean after Mauritius. In fact, I wouldn't call it a country. It is a department. It's a main department of the French. So it's part of France. You actually need a French visa to go to an African country or to an African island, which is on the land of Africa. Colonialism still exists. If you don't know that, now you know.